Greetings everybody, Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles, albums that are 40 years old in 2023. So the two that we're going to look at today are both debut albums, very different genres, one blues, one metal. And the blues one, the gentleman had basically just started out. And the metal one, the guy had been going for some time. So let's jump right in, shall we? And the first one we're going to look at is the late, in fact, both of these artists are no longer with us. The late, great Stevie Ray Vaughan. Sorry about the glare there. I'm sitting in a slightly different position today because I didn't feel like moving furniture around this morning. So his debut album called Texas Flood, and you know, this came around in the time when blues wasn't really happening. 83, it was sort of gone underground, if you like, and he definitely gave it a kickstart with this album. I see I have a friend here, I don't know if you'll be able to see her, my cat. She obviously wants to be on film. And there's not a bad track on this album. Got some great musicians on here as well. Chris Layton on drums, who would go on to be with him for pretty much his whole career. And Tommy Shannon on bass, likewise, be with him right throughout. And it was John Hammond, who was the guy that signed him. And he was the executive producer on here, produced by Stevie Ray Vaughan, Richard Mullen, and Double Trouble. Double Trouble being the name of his band. Chris Layton and Tommy Shannon. So this is the remastered version. I think it has been since released again, the deluxe version. This isn't the deluxe version, although there are a number of extra tracks on here. See if I can show you. That's the back there. Old Stevie always had a smile on his face. Such a humble guy. All about the music with him. That's the producer there, Mr. Hammond. There's Chris Layton at the back, and there's Tommy Shannon, the bassist. So, let's see if there's anything else I can show you. There's one with him with his trademark hat on. Another really cool hat. A lot of his attire reminded me very much of Hendrix. And, you know, he was influenced by Jimmy as well. Especially in his playing. There's the three guys starting out. See if there's anything else I can show you. And there's another shot of him playing his well-worn Strat. So what are the tracks on here, you may ask? Well, Love Struck Baby kicks things off, and straight away you can hear this guy's got something special to offer. He had a particular tone to his guitar, and as I've said before, that's what sets you apart from the masses. And he had a great rhythm section in Tommy Shannon and Chris Layton. Chris Layton's not the flashiest drummer, but he could keep the beat going very tight, him and Tommy Shannon. So that's track one, Love Struck Baby. Then we're going to Pride and Joy, which was a big hit off this album. Great track. Texas Flood, the title track. Tell Me, Testify, Rude Mood, which is a brilliant track. Such great guitar work from Stevie Ray Vaughan. And you know, when you watch this guy on video or DVDs and concerts of his, he made it look so effortless. And he was really into the music. You could see he was being transported away. That's what I loved about him. He played with such feeling. You know, not just a technical guy. He really lived each and every note. So that was Rude Mood. Then you had a really big hit, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Some classic lyrics to that track. And that would go on to be a big hit for him going forward. Dirty Pool, another one. I'm Crying. And then the song, which was a tribute to his wife at the time, called Lenny. Instrumental track. Beautiful track. I mean, if that doesn't bring a tear to your eye, then you don't have feelings. Yeah, so that's the album. Like I said, great album, not a bad track on here. Then the bonus tracks on here, Stevie Ray Vaughan speaks, so there's a little bit of an interview with him, which is fairly interesting for what it is. Then there's Tin Pan Alley track, aka The Roughest Place in Town. Testify live, Mary Had a Little Lamb live, and Wham live. So there's 3 live tracks at the end as well. If you don't have this, do yourselves a favor. If you want to get in some really serious blues rock, top class stuff, and I mean for a debut, this just blew everybody away. You can't go wrong with this album. and I'm sure there are many Stevie Ray Vaughan fans out there who already have this. Try and get the remastered versions. They really did a good job with it. So yeah, that's the first one we had a look at. Stevie Ray Vaughan, sadly no longer with us. Died in that terrible helicopter crash. But yeah, an album really worth having. Then the next one we're going to check out, like I said, very different, into the metal realm, or genre if you like. And this guy started out with his own band called Elf. He would then go on to sing for Rainbow for 1, 2, 3 albums. And then Richie Blackmore said, I don't need you anymore. Bye-bye, as Richie did, or as Richie used to do. And then he went to go sing for Black Sabbath, resurrected their career with 2 outstanding albums, plus a live album. Then there was some band issues. He left. He thought, no, hang on a bit. I want to be in control of my own band. I want to be able to run things the way I want to do it. And he did. So I'm waffling on about Ronnie James Dio, of course, the late, great Ronnie James Dio, one of the all-time best singers in rock, never mind just metal. And the album was Holy Diver, with that classic cover. I think there's actually a name for this beast. I'm trying to remember what it is. They gave it some ridiculous name, but I can't think of it right now. So this has been re-released on numerous occasions. This is just your standard CD release, the original release. I need to get myself the remastered version because I have heard it and it sounds incredible. And there's a whole bunch of obviously bonus and extra stuff on that. This, like the Stevie Ray Vaughan, there ain't a bad track on here. From start to finish, this just kicks ass. Yeah, so this not being a deluxe version, there's not really much I can show you. That, I think, was in the original inside cover of the vinyl, all those photographs of the band. So who was in the band? Ronnie James Dio, vocals and keyboards. He actually played the trumpet in very early days when he started out. Vinny Appice on drums, his buddy from Black Sabbath. Jimmy Bain on bass and keyboards. Jimmy Bain, of course, played with Rainbow as well. He was in a group called Wild Horses, I think. He's also since passed on. Vivian Campbell, of course, these days plies his trade with Def Leppard on guitar. Stunning guitar work on this album. I only wish he'd go back to this kind of style. Yeah, so those are the 4 guys in the band. And what else can I tell you here? 1983. Just a whole bunch of thank yous. And there's some more photographs that was also in the original vinyl. I had this on vinyl back in the day. I have no idea what happened to my copy. And there's notes at the back there that tell you a little bit about the album, how it came about and what have you, and the bands that he'd been in prior. But like I said, I need to get the deluxe version because I think that gives you a lot more info and a whole bunch of more photographs as well. So the tracks on here, well... You put this on and you sit still, there's something wrong with you. Stand Up and Shout, that just says it all. With a killer riff from Vivian Campbell. Great lyrics from Ronnie James Dio. That was the other thing about him. Besides being an exceptional singer, he wrote great songs, great songwriter. Then the title track, Holy Diver. Excuse me, I just need a sip of coffee here. And then we go into Gypsy. Caught in the Middle. Don't Talk to Strangers. That was a big hit off this album. We're going to become a crowd favorite. I think somewhere I've got a video actually of it's been put to dance. There were a whole bunch of people dancing to that track. It actually works out quite well. Anyway, that's just something on the side there. And what else have we got in here? Straight Through the Heart. That's the next track. Invisible. Rainbow in the Dark. Of course, Ronnie always had to have the word rainbow somewhere in his songs. I think that's probably a leftover from the band that he was in. And then lastly, Shame on the Night. This album kicks ass. I mean, the production, even on this normal copy, was great. And you could see how he was being held back in the previous bands. Oh, maybe not held back, but this is him expressing himself in a big way. And such a voice. I mean, Ronnie was a small dude. He was like, 5 foot something? But boy, when he started singing, he grabbed your attention. And there's a couple of live shows, I think one in Amsterdam from this tour, or somewhere in Holland. And boy, that band, I mean, there were no fancy things. It was a bit of a backdrop, supposed to be a mountain or something. No fancy screens or anything, just the band, the way it used to be. And as small as he commands that stage. And that was the other thing about Ronnie. One of the best frontmen ever. And this album is a must. If you're into classic metal, brilliant singer, great guitar work, and a rhythm section to die for. I mean, Rrr-Episode and Jimmy Bain were just killer on this album. This is the one for you. So there we go. The next two albums that are now 40 years old. Hard to believe. Seems like just yesterday that they came out. But you know, time goes on. It doesn't stand still. Please, guys, if you're new to the channel and you want to check out some of the other videos, I think I've done something like 140 now, something like that. Please, you can go and check out, just go on to videos, and you can cherry pick whichever ones you want to watch. I mean, we cover most subgenres within rock, blues, metal, classic rock, prog, bit of jazz rock fusion perhaps. It's all there for viewing pleasure. Down below, give me a thumbs up for the video, or a thumbs down if you feel. Any comments, more than welcome. Have yourselves a great week, and look after yourselves. Cheers.